A 200-metre run, 300-metre board paddle, 200-metre run, 300-metre swim, run to the stop, finish. Exhaustion. Sounds easy.
Yeah.
I can promise you, it's not.
And a pretty good pace these guys set at the start of the race, isn't it? Considering what's ahead of them, you'd think they'd be conserving energy here and can easily take it out of you on the soft sand. But this is the level of competition, the calibre of this field that we have assembled here in Mount Maunganui this year. Everyone who's anyone in New Zealand surf lifesaving laying it on the line right now.
Yeah, it's all about the start. The start's very important. That's actually Scotty Bicknell from the Hawke's Bay out there in front. Now, Scotty is a fantastic ski paddler, so he'll be trying to make the most of the ski leg. He's probably weakness is his swim, so he certainly needs to get as far in front as possible, because in that swim he'll, he hate me to say it, but he's a bit of a rock.
It is interesting, isn't it? I mean, there are 3 different disciplines here in the run, but so often it comes down to the run, which is not unlike the actual Ironman triathlon as well, isn't it? So often, and usually it comes down to the last leg. In this case, it's the swim.
Yeah, that's right. I tell you what, Daniel Moody there, the other Hawke's Bay competitor, sitting in second spot, just starting the, looks like Matt Sutton, Daniel Moody, sitting there together. That's Travis Mitchell there on the dark blue ski closest to camera. But certainly those 2 there are the ones to look out for. Glenn Anderson, I haven't seen him. Now, Glenn Anderson needs to get out in front here because, you know, board leg's not a very strong leg for him, and that will be second. The ski is a very technical discipline. You can actually see the guys there. It's really important. You can see as Scotty paddles there, he's rotating across his body. Ski paddling's not just about using your arms. It's actually about using your whole body. If you use your arms, you blow up for the swim leg. So these guys are really trying to absorb a lot of energy into their stomach muscles, and you can see that rotation there. That's a great shot of Scotty rotating across his body and trying to generate maximum power.
So these guys obviously don't trust their swim against some of the other ocean swimmers in this race here, and so try to build up as big a lead as they can. Try to put some, as it were, money in the bank here for the last leg as Bicknell, followed by the Wellingtonian, Marty McDowell, first and second place at the end of the first leg, as they have to throw their bodies across the soft sand again before they jump on the board for the paddle out and back, and then the swim run. You can see the pace of the run is certainly a lot slower than it was at the start of the race, and Bicknell in particular down to just a jog.
Yeah, you can actually see there Scotty Bicknell and Marty McDowell, those 2 boys, being kayak paddlers. They're quite big, they're quite strong, and that does not help you when you're swimming. You need to be a bit slighter for a swimmer, and you can see that those builds don't allow for that sort of speed. Now, Matt Sutton there is positioned really well. He is he's certainly in second spot, and that's really, really great for him. But it's Daniel Nelson there from the Taranaki team who's out in front. Now, Daniel has been training over in Australia a lot lately. He has come back especially for this event, so he'll be trying to make himself known to the rest of these competitors and make all that training in Australia worthwhile.
So Nelson, Sutton and McDowell, 1, 2 and 3 at the moment. Taranaki leading from Gisborne and Wellington, 1, 2 and 3. As we head back towards the shore to complete the second leg. There is Daniel Nelson at Taranaki, been in control of this leg, and tucked in there behind him, the man from Gisborne, Matt Sutton.
Yeah, you can just see Matt looking over his shoulder, just looking for a few little waves. There are little waves coming through here today, which they'll get a lot of assistance from. The water is quite deep, though, so the waves do tend to hold up, so they really need to keep the power on the board. You can just see them sitting up a little bit too much and perhaps looking around a little bit too much.
So what's the worst leg here, Corey? I mean, sometimes in a long-distance race on the track, the middle laps are tougher mentally than any other part of the race. Is it a bit like this here when you've got these 3 or 4 different disciplines? The middle stages of the race mentally are the toughest?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, the start's incredibly important, and if you don't get away to a good start, the middle of the race is certainly a grind trying to catch up. But these guys would be absolutely stuffed. Their heart rates would be close to 200 beats a minute. The crowd is a great supporter. The crowd gets behind you and it helps you lift up and run fast. But, you know, look at like Matt there. He's certainly getting along pretty well. He's certainly still moving along the sand. And he'll just be trying to get into that swim leg before Glenn and Daniel. You can see Daniel Moody there from Hawke's Bay in the white top. He came round in about 7th or 8th. There he is there just grabbing his goggles. Now he's the guy to look out for. He is probably the fastest swimmer in this field, and he will be out there hunting those leaders. Okay, into the all-important final leg. Yeah, you can see Daniel there, Brendan. He's actually, look at that stroke rate. That's just really slow. You know, you can see how fast Matt there behind him is actually catching him. And certainly Daniel's weakness looks to be the swim at this stage. Either that or he's gone so hard that he's got no energy left. Now look, moving into third spot, good shot there of Glenn Anderson in the yellow top. Now Glenn Anderson swims a 1 minute and 52 seconds for 200 metres. That's just outside of Olympic qualifying time. So, you know, he's an exceptional swimmer, and he's swimming up onto Matt quite fast now.
But Nelson, for all his very moderate stroke rate here, trying to hang on, trying to keep these guys at bay. It's pretty choppy and rippy out there at the moment, isn't it?
Yeah, it is, and I think Daniel's about to be owned by both Matthew and Glenn. They're going to come past him on the inside, and Matt coming around the second can. Now this is on the way home now, so they'll get that swell behind them. Still no sign of Daniel Moody, so maybe he might be a little bit tired.
There he is
now. So
first glimpse of him, yeah. He's getting himself into the frame here for the run home, isn't he?
He is, and you know, when you think about it, he's chasing a guy like Glenn Anderson that's just outside of the Olympic swimming qualifying times, and there he is hunting him down. So it shows you how strong he is. You can just see a little wave coming through now. Daniel Moody might get a little run off this, and he did. Just a little assistance there. You can just see he got a little bit of a run. Glenn Anderson's actually caught in a bit of a rip there. The water's moving out to sea quite fast, so he's actually not in a very good spot. Now, Daniel, look at this. Daniel Moody is now up into third spot, right on the feet of Matt Sutton. So this is going to be a really hot finish.
Wow, look what's happening here in this very turbulent water bodies being thrown around in all directions here. And who's coming out of the water first? Anderson and Moody. But it looks like it might be the younger legs of Daniel Moody getting that inside running round the sausage he goes. And Anderson trying to run him down, but he is no match for Daniel Moody, who comes away and wins the Ironman. Second place from Bay of Plenty is Glenn Anderson. And further back in third place, Matt Sutton, who was so strong throughout most of that swim leg.
Yeah, that was a fantastic swim by young Daniel there. Just an amazing swim to actually swim down Glenn Anderson, who, you know, is a substantially faster pool swimmer, but just shows you in the surf here, Brendan, you know, what the surf can do and how it's a great leveller.